People have really been hating on the Toronto Raptors as of late, saying things like they're not going to make the play-in tournament, they need to blow it up, trade Pascal. Well, today I'm here to tell you why I think this is a Raptors team that is really going to shock some people. With Pascal Siakam, with OG Anunoby, they've got two really good core pieces there, and I really liked their offseason. They go out, they get one of my favorite players in the draft, in Gradey Dick, just because of his offensive abilities. They re-signed Jakob Poeltl. Gary Trent Jr. accepted his player option, and then they bring in a couple of very underrated free agents. Dennis Schroeder, perfect for this team, and Jalen McDaniels, who I think is perfect for this team as well. So we're going to be looking at the Raptors, kind of looking back over their offseason so far, and also looking ahead to the season. So make sure you hit the like button and leave me a comment down below. Also, if you look at it, about 97% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed to the channel, so odds are you're one of that 97%. Go ahead and change that real quick. It only takes a second out of your time, and it means a lot to me also. I mean, this is the place you want to be if you're an NBA fan. Also, go check out the TikTok. Now, with all the plugs out of the way, let's go ahead and get started looking at the draft class. Great moves. Really like the Gradey Dick pick there at 13. Whoa. I like the selection of Gradey Dick at 13, I should say. Best shooter in the class. That's not really a debate. 14 points per game, 5 rebounds. Dude, he's a dog. Offensively, he didn't really get it going from deep in the summer league, but I think that was kind of a blessing in disguise because he was able to showcase what else he can do with, his scoring around the rim, scoring in the mid-range. You see the efficiency at Kansas last year. Unreal for a freshman. 6'8", so he can be a factor on defense, and his jump shot is just so smooth. I mean, Dick Vitale said, very smooth and very repeatable. At 6'8", 6'9", gets it up there. That release point is very high. Not many people can block it. I think Gradey Dick is going to be really good for this Raptors team. And then some very underrated free agent signings here. A couple of great defenders in Dennis Schroeder and Jalen McDaniels coming over to Toronto up north of the border. Dennis averaged about 12.6 points per game, 12.6 points, 4.5 assists, 2.5 rebounds. He had a good year. Solid role player. I think he's going to fit in very nicely. You go from Van Vliet to him, so he's better defender. Not as efficient. Well, actually, he's more efficient than Van Vliet. But you can let your stars do the majority of the scoring, and Dennis is going to play point guard and dish it out and also defend at the point of attack. I really like the signing. I think it is a great signing. He's been a part of some really good defensive Lakers teams, especially the one that won the championship. So Dennis is going to be a nice piece here. He's about $100 million cheaper than Fred Van Vliet. Now, Jalen McDaniels, 10.6 points, 4.8 rebounds, 2 assists. Everybody talks about Jaden McDaniels, but Jalen McDaniels is the brother that doesn't get enough love. He has been solid so far in his NBA career, first for the Hornets, then for the 76ers. Now, the Hornets never really competed, but the 76ers were a playoff team last year. 49% from the field, 40% from three, 1.2 steals. I think he will come in, and he will play a big part in this rotation. He can be a very nice defender off the bench at 6'9", good wing to bring in. They can also shoot at 40% from three, and in the NBA these days, that's what you try to get as many of on your team as possible. Now, you talk about some money. Jakob Poeltl got a bag. Not as big of a bag as like a Fred Van Vliet got, but he got a bag. 4 years, $80 million, $20 million per year. Honestly, in the modern salary cap, that's not even as much as you think. $20 million per year nowadays is like $10 million a year. 10 years ago, maybe. 13 points per game for Poeltl this year, 9 rebounds, 2.2 assists. Of course, got traded back to the Raptors at the deadline from the Spurs. Of course, was originally involved in that DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard trade. But he also averaged 1.2 steals, 1.3 blocks, and shot at 65% from the field. So he is a very nice paint presence that the Raptors will be able to enjoy the luxury of having this year. So Jakob Poeltl, glad they could go out and get him extended. And then you also get the player option on Gary Trent Jr. So both Poeltl and Gary Trent Jr. are back. A couple of starters from last year's squad. Really, other than Van Vliet leaving, you got the whole core back together. $18 million player option for Gary Trent Jr., so he will be a free agent after this year. But he averaged 17.4 points, 2.6 rebounds, 1.6 assists, and he was a really, really good defender as well. that's part of his game that goes unnoticed is his defense. 43% from the field, 37% from three, but you see right there the 1.6 steals per game. Very underrated part of his game. I like Gary Trent Jr. I've liked him in Toronto since the time that they absolutely swindled the Blazers for Norman Powell. So yeah, Gary Trent Jr., he's going to be a nice piece to this. I don't really think it's a rebuild. I think it's a retool around really good pieces that you have already. So both of those guys, big money, but it's good that they are back. Now, the star duo. Both have been rumored to be in trade talks, but I don't think you do it. OG averaged 16.8 points and 5 rebounds a game last year. He was very solid. He's improved every year of his career, is a great defender, one of the best defensive wings in the NBA, and those come at a high price these days. 48% from the field, 39% from three. Rumored that the Nets offered like 4 first-round picks for OG at the deadline last year, which is crazy, or the Grizzlies won. But yeah, 2 assists per game and 2 steals as well. OG, really, really good defender, and he's a really good piece to build around here in Toronto. And then Pascal, the face of the franchise, 24.2 points per game, 7.8 rebounds as well. He is a dog. He missed the beginning of last year as well, so he had to come in, get reacclimated to the new team, kind of fit in chemistry-wise. 48% from the field, 33% from three. I'd say he definitely fit in with that team last year. He was the go-to guy for them. 5.8 assists per game as well at 28 years old. So now, let's look at the lineups for next year. And like I said, I actually really like this Raptors team. Now, what are they going to do? They have OG, Scotty, Pascal. Are they going to play Pascal at the 5 and let Pirtle sit on the bench? I don't think so. You just gave him $20 million a year. You can't sit Scotty Barnes on the bench. He's one of the better young players in the NBA. OG absolutely will not be sitting on the bench. Same thing with Pascal. So who's the odd man out? Is Gary Trent Jr. coming off the bench in a contract year? And you move, like, I don't know. Can you play Scotty Barnes at the 1? That's the question. If you can, then you can roll with this lineup. But I don't know if you can. I think Schroeder will probably have to be starting. And that might move Gary Trent Jr. down to the bench. And if it does, then that's a very exciting starting lineup. If not, this is still a very exciting starting lineup with all the length, athleticism, defense, and then Gary Trent Jr. brings that shooting as well. And then off the bench, you have another really, really good shooter, 2 really, really good shooters in Gradey Dick, in Jalen McDaniels. And then if Schroeder comes off the bench, he'd be a great 6-man to come in and be the facilitator for the backup unit as well as the point of attack defender. Gradey Dick, like I said, he's just an absolute scorer. From all 3 levels, he can fill it up. Jalen McDaniels, great role player. And then you got Precious Achiuwa. You got Chris Boucher in there at the backup front court. A couple of guys that, at times in their career have shown some promise. Precious he might be a Raptor for life. Masai Ujiri, I believe is how you pronounce it, really, really likes Precious. So he's staying for a while. You got Boucher, who re-signed about a year ago, I think. So I like this 10-man rotation for the Raptors a lot. Like I said, it could be Schroeder starting. In that case, you'd need a backup point. But we'll see what moves they make. They still got... Do they still have Malachi Flynn? I'm not sure. But this is a Raptors team. Otto Porter Jr. still as well. This is a Raptors team that I think they can surprise some people next year. Maybe not, but I'd be willing to bet the over in terms of their win total. Now, with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on the Toronto Raptors down in the comments below. Make sure to the like button and hit the subscribe button if you did enjoy today's video at any point. Also, turn on those post notifications. We're posting basketball videos all off-season long. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video.